Living Archive is a digital archive, and it's the first ever time in the Royal Court's history that people can access information about every single one of the nearly 2,000 plays that we've done since 1956 online.
The Living Archive to me is this ecosystem of plays that are in constant conversation with each other and is constantly evolving. And what feels particularly exciting about that is that it's so active, because I think when I think about the canon, it feels so passive and something that's fixed and no more plays can enter it, whereas here it feels like that plays will always be coming into it and we'll keep having conversations with each other.
It is open and accessible, and you'll be able to find information from the cast list, the dates it was produced, the artistic directors, to synopsis and even more information.
It's for everybody, it's fully accessible, it's free, we want everybody to be able to come and enjoy it. But when we were thinking about making it, we asked the question, who is it for? And we realised we went back to the heart of what the Royal Court is. The Royal Court is the writers' theatre, and the Living Archive is created for the writers of now and for the writers of the future, to learn about the writers that have already existed at the Royal Court, and to further that conversation, and of course everyone else who wants to access it as well.
The Living Archive is for writers. It's a resource that maybe they wouldn't be able to have with a physical archive. You know, it's at the tip of their fingertips, and it's designed to be able to show them the history and really aid their creative process for their own future writing.
Like, who gets to decide what's archived and what's not, what's documented, what's not? Like, who are those people and who makes those decisions? So that feels really important. And that's kind of why I was really interested in just wanting to be a part of it, really.
One of my favourite things about this archive, or working on this project, is how close I feel to some of the plays. I feel incredibly attached to this theatre's legacy and the works that they have programmed. That's not particularly just the works that have been championed, but there were just so many important stories that have been told in this institution, and I think spending so much time with these works has just been just really inspiring, and it's inspired me not just in this work but in actually my everyday life.
I think Living Archive is probably one of the most important things that I've been able to be part of since I started working in theatre 30 years ago, because we really easily forget, and I think that we often obsess about the past and the legacy in a really weird way, and actually what we need to do is always be thinking to the future but not constantly reinventing the wheel, and not forgetting the people who have really influenced and really changed people's lives in theatre. So that's why it's so important, it's why it's so important for me. This building, since it was created, the idea of the Royal Court, created by George Devine, has never wavered from its mission. It has always been about the writers, always been about putting the writers first. And this really kind of cements that, I think, for writers going forward, and for all the other people who are as obsessed with writers as our audiences are, and everyone who works at the Royal Court. And it's really the beginning of something. It's the beginning of something that I hope will roll out a new way of people thinking about archive.